On that note, we'll welcome you to our Nigerians in Diaspora segment, where we celebrate Nigerians who live outside the country and are making us proud by contributing to the development and reputation of the country in their own little way. Today, we're looking at Integrity Home Care and G, here in Nigeria, which was put together by a healthcare consulting firm by a Nigerian in the United States. Well, since its inception a few months ago, its aim has been to provide primary care services to Nigerians at home. The objective is to extend the quality healthcare services available in the United States to Nigerians who live here. Well, joining us from New York is the President and CEO of Integrity Data Systems, Kehinde Bolariwa. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, what inspired you to get into this line of providing these services to Nigerians at home?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm inspired to do this because of my personal experiences in terms of my own desire to help my brothers, sisters, and uncle and cousins at home to be able to have access to quality healthcare. I'm also doing this because of my own experience as a public health professional. I have a kind of a healthcare consulting firm here in the United States. I believe that to whom much is given, much is equally expected. As you know, in Nigeria today, healthcare is very much in a bad shape. The quality of healthcare is very low, and few people with money have access to that healthcare in Nigeria. What I ask myself is, what can I do to make a difference? The answer is, why not start something that those of us here with relatives and loved ones will be able to provide healthcare for those loved ones that we left back home in Nigeria. And since we know that the government of Nigeria is incapable of doing this, so that's the starting point for me. And after that, I developed the mission statement, and then the next step for me is to develop the system that is capable of achieving the desired goal that I set up. And part of that is to develop a good website, and then to try to recruit doctors and nurses in Nigeria that we actually perform these services in Nigeria.
And how has the performance been so far since you started? Would you say that you've achieved your aim?
Oh, definitely. I've achieved my aim, and we are doing very well. We've been praised by people that have been able to have access to this type of service. It's an old concept in terms of going home to deliver medical care, but it's also a new concept. And so what we've seen is that people basically seeing doctors and nurses at home, and they really appreciate that. As you know, when you go to the clinics or the hospitals in Nigeria, I mean, it's like very tough to really have that one-on-one access to the doctor. And what I mean by that is that at times, maybe the doctors or the nurses, they just glance through you. They just maybe if you have 5 to 10 minutes of discussion with them, you are lucky. But when you meet at home, it's a totally different setting. The nurses, they were able to talk to them about nutritional, they were able to talk to them about all kinds of things. And when you are sitting at home and then you are discussing with the doctor.
All right, Kehinde, there are tons of competitors in the United States, no doubt. Well, were you intimidated by that when you ventured into this in the first place?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Here in the United States, you can aspire to do whatever you want to do. Starting a business here is very, very easy. This is an open society where everyone is encouraged to participate in the economic activities of the country. Healthcare just happened to be my area of expertise, and that is the reason I set up a firm in the area of healthcare consulting. So it's an open place where you could do anything. You don't have to, you don't need a lot of money to start a business in the United States. You have the multinational corporations. You also have small businesses that are thriving. So it's a good place to start a business, and that's what we are trying to do in Nigeria. That anybody, going to school is not just to go to school and get a certificate. That going to school is to inspire you to be able to start your own business, to be able to hire people that may not be able to start their own business.
All right, Kehinde, before I let you go, what word of advice do you have to Nigerians in diaspora? I mean, how can they render services or contribute to the development of Nigeria in spite of being outside the country?
That's a very good question. Just like we've recently done, any Nigerian that is abroad should try to do something similar to this. I will encourage them to just think about anything that they could do to help Nigeria. It's about helping the country to create jobs and to develop a society where Nigeria can actually actuate their dreams. It will take all of us together to make Nigeria a country of our dream. I mean, we all want to be proud of Nigeria, but we cannot just do it by criticizing government, by looking abroad and say, oh, look at what they have here. The question we have to ask ourselves is, what can we do to make a difference? What can we do to make Nigeria better? So that is the question that I think all of us, we have to answer. It doesn't matter how big or how small, as long as you start something. If you start something and you hire maybe 1 or 2 people, those 2 people will have a job. They will have a job to feed their family instead of going to the street and committing all kinds of things. So I would just encourage them to do what is right, and anything that they do would be a long way forward for Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Kehinde Bolaria, for joining us on Network Africa. Well, we're still talking about Nigerians who are doing us proud. Nigeria's Paralympic table tennis champion, Koleosho Ahmed, is ready for the Rio Games and hopes to claim medal glory for his country after the Nigerian Olympic team was criticized for a lackluster performance, winning only 1 bronze at the Games.
Ahmed Koleosho is on his way to the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation Training Center in Lagos, where he goes to play para table tennis every day. The player will be representing his country at the Paralympics in Brazil next month in the men's singles class 3. He says he is confident that the vigorous training he's been going through will see him bring home a gold medal.
With the hard training now and us being in camp and everything too, I think we have about 60% chance of winning a medal in the Paralympics, even though we've not really had much success in para table tennis Olympics. Although we've had a gold medal in class 9 standing and a bronze medal in class 5 sitting. That was 1996 and 2000, and ever since then we've not really had much luck.
The 30-year-old, who started his table tennis career 4 years ago, secured a place at the Rio Paralympics after winning gold at the African Para Championships in Morocco last year. Team Nigeria did well in the London 2012 Paralympics, bagging a total of 13 medals, with most coming from athletics and powerlifting. Coach Tajuddin Agumbiade says his players have improved their skills over time.
What I'm expecting is for them to live up to the expectation, playing good table tennis the way they were taught while in camp, good techniques, and hopefully we should come with a medal, hopefully. So all hands on deck, we are coming back with medal.
The Paralympics team has been facing funding challenges as the country faces its worst economic crisis in decades as a result of the decline in oil prices since 2014 and last year's introduction of the currency peg. The Nigerian Olympic team had a difficult start at the Rio Games with cases of undelivered kits and delayed flights amongst other challenges, and ended up performing poorly with 1 bronze medal from the football team. Chinedu Njoku is the head coach of the Paralympics table tennis team and says his players are keen to do well despite the challenges.
All we need has been given to us. Our equipment, the feeding in the camp is okay, the hostel is okay, but we are pleading for more to the government for us to at least move to training tour, at least to acclimatize. That will help and boost the morale of the athletes.
Well, still to come on news on Network Africa, a look at some controversial laws in Egypt regarding the construction of churches. Please stay with us.